Drop the price of the standard classic MyPillow, regularly $69.98 to $19.98. Now, queen and king size slightly higher, but that price includes a free press and pack bag so you can take your MyPillow with you anywhere. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener square, use my promo code USA, or call 1-800-951-8175. Support Mike Lindell and American Jobs and give MyPillow for Christmas.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. A Georgia-based company called American Peanut Growers Group, based in Donaldsonville, Georgia, has announced they will invest $85 million in expanding operations and creating 90 new jobs. In addition to expanding its current Donaldsonville shelling plant, APGG will open a new food processing facility on its 45-acre campus in Seminole County. They're buying peanuts from all three areas, Georgia, Florida, and Alabama. Jerry Mays, the general CEO of the APGG, said, "We're extremely excited about this project and the opportunities it will provide the economic growth of the tri-state area." He said per capita consumption of peanuts has risen to an all-time high for the second year, and this presents an ideal situation, allowing us to further drive value through the industry supply chain. He said, "We're thankful for our farmer owners that are demonstrating their willingness to invest in the project and in the community." He said the support of the city and the county officials, as well as local industries such as LMC, has allowed us to move quickly on the infrastructure needs.
You're going to need me.
You're going to need us.
All of us.
You're going to need our technical skills,
our math, our engineering skills.
You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food.
You're going to need our organizational skills, our problem-solving skills.
You're going to need our determination, our honesty, our compassion.
You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring.
And we promise, we'll be there when you need us.
Today, 4-H is growing the next generation of leaders. Support us at 4h.org.
I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Pleasant and less humid today with plenty of sunshine. High today 73 to 75. Clear and cool tonight, low 51 to 62. Then Tuesday we'll have plenty of sunshine. High tomorrow 77 to 79. Periods of clouds and sunshine Wednesday, high 79 to 81. Then expect rainy weather Thursday afternoon through late Thursday night. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors, Sunday mornings at 8 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Listen Sunday mornings at 8 to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors.
Our firm offers insurance services.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
This cool fall weather is the perfect time to plant a tree, and Ocala's favorite place for trees is Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery. Right now today, you can select any tree from hundreds in stock for as low as $39.99 and get a second one just like it for half price. Now that same deal is available on all trees in stock, starting with large trees at less than $40, all the way up to Bob's famous gigantic jumbo trees at $8.99. Your second tree is always half price. Be sure to check this week's blooming specials, like camellias at just $15.99, a tray of 10 large-size annuals for just $29.99. Garden mums are half price, and all statuary and fountains are 30% off. And don't forget, it's 15% off for veterans all this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery on Southeast 38th Street, just off Lake Rio Avenue. In the same blooming place since 1952.
Hi, this is Jack O'Brien, and I could tell you stories. Earl McKinley was waiting for a visit from his daughter Cassie, and he wasn't all that sure how things were going to go. They'd had a conversation that Earl understood completely, but Cassie thought Earl was confused, and so she wanted him to see the doctor while she was there. Well, the confusion happened because Cassie didn't know about the new road that led to her dad's place. The Sumter County supervisors had met a few months back to consider a plan from the developer to extend the main road. It's called Buena Vista, but they wanted to extend it another 23 miles. They were going to add another 12 roundabouts, and they took 6 hours to lay out the whole project. Well, Sonny Akers, the chairman of the Board of Supervisors, was getting frustrated. He'd already missed a dentist appointment, he might miss dinner, and he was just bored stiff with the presentation. So when they finally got to the point where Attorney Margaret Woods says, "So we'd like the board to approve dedication of the new road and the 12 roundabouts." Akers says, "Miss Margaret, if that's all y'all wanted, you sure took the roundabout way to get there." Well, everybody starts laughing because Sonny made this joke, even though people who know him say it's pretty certain he didn't even realize it. But when everybody was laughing, and they're suddenly in good spirits after a grueling 6 hours, Chairman Akers gets the idea this might be a good chance to show how he's in charge and not the kind who's going to kowtow to the developer. So he says, "Well, I move we dedicate the entire road as Roundabout Way. All those in favor." Well, the lawyer starts going apoplectic, but it's not her call. All the supervisors shout, "Aye!" And that's it. The longest road in the United States is suddenly born with the name Roundabout Way. But the name has caused nothing but chaos since that day because it was confusing to people who don't know what happened. "So, Dad, how far is it from where you and Mom lived?" "Oh, it's all the way down almost to the other end, much farther south." "Well, should I take 301? "Well, yeah, you could do that, and then south of Wildwood, take a right on 48 until you come to the traffic light, and then turn left and take the roundabout way." "Well, that sounds great, but what's the fastest way to get there?" "Well, honey, if I were you, I'd take the roundabout way." "Well, which way is that?" "Well, I just told you, Cassie. You turn right off 301, turn left at the light, and take the roundabout way for about 2-3 miles. Unfortunately, the two were unable to connect on that one crucial detail. The fact that the road that led pretty much straight to Earl's house sounded like it didn't. Earl knew exactly what he was saying, and he couldn't understand why Cassie didn't get it. Cassie thought Earl was looping, and instead of trying to discern what he was saying, she panicked and figured her dear dad had gone off the deep end. So, after he picked Cassie up on the way home, every time he passed a street sign, he'd say, "Cassie, what does that say?" And she'd say, "The roundabout way, Dad." And Cassie may have learned that she didn't have to panic about her dad growing old, that there was really nothing either one of them could do about it. Might have been easier had their thoughts connected better in that first phone call, but sometimes the best way to get where you need to be is the roundabout way. This is Jack O'Brien. Thanks for listening.
Like what you've just heard? I Could Tell You Stories with Jack O'Brien is brought to you by Brick City Digital. Hi, I'm Michael Warren, and at Brick City Digital Marketing, we believe every business has a great story to tell. Our job is to help your business tell your story in a way that brings more customers to your door. We help small businesses just like yours with web design, social media, SEO, video, and more. Visit us online at brickcity.com or call 352-351-1131 for a free consultation.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Monday, Jack O'Brien, he's a good storyteller. If you don't think Jack O'Brien's a good storyteller, you're mistaken, because Jack O'Brien's a good storyteller. Hey, the jury will hear closing arguments today in the Kyle Rittenhouse murder trial. They were dismissed until Monday on Thursday, but attorneys for both sides returned to the Wisconsin courtroom Friday. They worked through technical legal arguments. Closing arguments are expected today. The governor, Tom Evers of Wisconsin, has mobilized 500 Wisconsin National Guard troops to the Kenosha area. There are hundreds of officers from volunteering law enforcement agencies all over the state. All this in case there's unrest after the verdict. There is going to be a chance for lesser charges to be considered by the jury. Now, they cannot be considered in the shooting of Joseph Rosenbaum, but they can be in the shooting of Anthony Huber. The prosecution has asked for the lesser charges because they're not as confident that an all-or-nothing gamble on the originally filed homicide-related charges is a good, safe bet for them. This according to a Marquette University Law School professor and criminal defense attorney Craig Masatino. Throw more against the wall and see if it sticks is what he says. Rittenhouse's defense did not object to the two of the lesser counts in the Huber charge. They did object to the lesser counts in the Rosenbaum charge, so that's why the judge agreed with the defense and settled that way. In the case of Huber, a lesser included charge of second-degree intentional homicide instead of first-degree intentional homicide would mean the jurors would still have to find that Rittenhouse intentionally took Huber's life, but that he believed he was acting in self-defense. That's the first degree. For a second degree, the jury would need to find that Rittenhouse believed he was acting in self-defense, but that his belief was unreasonable. The jury will have to consider the original charges, and only if they find he is not guilty beyond reasonable doubt will they move on to consider each lesser included charge. As we all know, he's accused of fatally shooting Rosenbaum and Huber and wounding Gage Grakasut, 27, during a night of violent protest in Kenosha. Rittenhouse, now 18, faces charges of intentional reckless and attempted homicide along with reckless endangerment. He's also charged with possession of a dangerous weapon by a person under 18. That's a misdemeanor. But having a lesser included offense, you're raising the risk of conviction, although you're avoiding the possibility the jury will end up compromising on the more serious crime. You're also decreasing the risk that you end up with a second trial because the jury was unable to agree. Rittenhouse had testified that he did fear for his life. He acted in self-defense. He said, "I didn't do anything wrong. I defended myself." That's what he told the jury. Prosecutors argued for the lesser charge to be included in case the jury doesn't want to convict Rittenhouse on the more serious charges. It's a strategic consideration for both sides, according to the law professor, because the prosecution sees that their case is not very good, so they're trying to get lesser charges put in, for the jury to consider, so they can save face somehow. Legal observers have noted that the prosecution struggled to poke holes in Rittenhouse's self-defense claim. At some point, the prosecution's own witness bolstered the claim. Witnesses said that Rosenbaum threatened to kill Rittenhouse and that Groskutz pointed a gun at him before Rittenhouse fired. So, it looks like that if they just went with the original charges, the only one they'd get him on is probably the misdemeanor of possession of a dangerous weapon by someone under 18. He'd get time served, probably be told he can't own a weapon until he's 21, something like that. But the reason this case is so important for everybody around the country is it shows a group that went out to, Rittenhouse was part of a group that went out, he said, to render first aid, but they went out and they were in opposition to the rioters, the looters, and the people who were peaceful protesting. I'm doing the peaceful protest in a quotation marks, because last time I checked, peaceful protesting wasn't turning cop cars upside down, setting them on fire, breaking windows out of shops, and looting. That doesn't seem like peaceful protest is what Martin Luther King Jr. did when he walked across the bridge in Selma, or when they took to the National Mall in Washington, D.C., or when they sat in at lunch counters all across the South. That's peaceful protest. There's no way throwing bricks through windows, throwing bricks and rocks at the police, swinging skateboards at people's heads and looting. There's no way that's a peaceful protest. I don't give a damn how stupid you are. Even the most stupid person understands that's not peaceful protest. Hell, Forrest Gump would get. If this was a Forrest Gump movie, he'd say during the violent looting and protesting, during the violent protest, this happened. Wasn't a peaceful protest. Could have been. It still could be a protest, but it was a violent protest. There was not a damn thing peaceful about it. And we're going to see that play out in the Wisconsin courtroom today, where I believe by the middle of the week or the end of the week, the jury will have said this was a violent protest that a kid felt his life was in danger at, and he defended himself. Sorry about your damn luck if you were one of the violent looters or protesters or arsonists or whatever you want to call them that was swinging a skateboard at a kid's head, pulled a gun on a kid. You lost your lives. You played with fire. You got burnt. Sorry about your damn luck. If you don't like that stand, Tom at WOCA.com. That's where you send all disagreements with me. It's Tom at WOCA.com. But you're wrong on this one. We'll take a break. We'll be right back after this timeout. You're listening to Ocala Talks on WOCA, The Source.
To move, and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
Two Men in a Truck.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in